Bear with me as I explain something. Sometimes, I be wishing inside of myself that immigration itself will be completely outlawed all throughout the world, especially for Africans. And I know this sounds very contradictory considering the fact that I'm an immigrant myself and I'm also a huge beneficiary of immigration. I know, but please hear me out. The reason why I say this is because of human nature. Like I've mentioned so many times, according to the Bible, the heart of man is desperately wicked. Keywords, desperately wicked. The more uncomfortable, the more stressed a human being is, the more that desperate wickedness comes out to play. We human beings must understand our true nature as desperately wicked beings and understand that the only thing keeping us together is grace, as in this grace is not ours. It is borrowed. It's given to us from Christ. This knowledge should trigger humility. In the absence of humility, the only thing that we as human beings achieve is perpetuating our own pain to suffering. Like I mentioned so many times before, pain is a beautiful thing because pain is potential energy. When you recognize your pain and you do not deny it, you can transmute your pain into liberation. However, when you sit with your pain and you deny it, you perpetuate it into suffering, aka hell on earth. There is a shit ton of pain in this world, but especially in Africa, that we're not doing anything about because we do not recognize that this pain is potential energy and it's not entirely our fault. Slavery and colonization has left a massive dent in our psyche. We Africans have been intentionally and strategically conditioned to see pain as part of our lives to the point that we do nothing about them. Matter of fact, we comfortably reinforce and conform to the exact same fuck systems that keep us perpetually broken. And in our desperation for survival, a lot of us migrate to countries that we deem the grass is greener on the other side. But when we get to those countries, a shit ton of us lack humility to understand why those countries appear greener to begin with. Take South Africa, for example, compared to Nigeria. These two countries are part of the same continent, yet South Africa has seemed to have paid a price to make their grass appear greener. It might not necessarily be real green or healthy green, but it at least appears green enough compared to Nigeria for a lot of Nigerians to find attractive enough to want to go to South Africa. Ask yourself, what price have they paid and continue to pay for their grass to appear greener compared to ours? But a lot of us Africans migrate to some of these countries, whether it's South Africa or the US or the UK. A lot of us do not understand that oftentimes there's very dark history, dark and painful history that had to occur before any glimpse of green appeared. And a lot of us still do not understand that that glimpse of green, whether it's in America or in South Africa, is actually still very mediocre compared to the green every single one of us could exude if we all put in the same fucking audacity. But instead, a lot of these African immigrants, when we get to these host countries, in our desperation and wickedness and arrogance, we don't help them fight the systems to make things better. Yes, there's a lot of hardworking Africans who are quietly making their money, but that is not good enough. I don't care how affluent your host country is, the best that they got is mediocre compared to what could be, meaning that the citizens of your host country are in pain. And just because you come from a hotter pain and when you get to their country, you now want to relax for what? I don't know about y'all, but I have never heard of a Nigerian or a group of Nigerians who are helping speak up about the injustice in South Africa. Whether it's in the inequality with white people in South Africa owning over 70% of land and property. And white people in South Africa are the minority, by the way, with their population about 7%. 7% of white people in South Africa own over 70 to 80% of land in South Africa. Apart from journalists like Adela Fayehon, I have never seen a Nigerian speak up against that. I have never seen a Nigerian or a group of Nigerians speak up against the injustice in America, including systemic racism and inequality against Black Americans, intentionally highlighting their historical struggles from a non-white supremacist perspective. I have never seen that. A lot of us take, abuse, and get comfortable without giving back, without any deep acknowledgement and respect for the history of the host country itself. Now imagine if every single African, instead of us packing our bags and running desperately to other countries that we deem affluent because we think their grass is greener on the other side, imagine if we learn from them and put in the exact same audacity and work in our countries to fix our own shit, as opposed to running to other countries and straining their already weak and strained systems. Imagine the level of green every single one of our grasses will exude. But instead, we idolize, idealize, and pedestalize the same group of people and their fuck systems that keep us in perpetual poverty in mind, body, and spirit, and finances while we fight our own brothers. How fucking sad. So yes, in spite of the fact that immigration is a very beautiful thing, because this is how we get to see each other and learn from each other, because at the end of the day, we're one. But immigration should never be done from a place of desperation, especially when this desperation causes you to not appreciate the history behind the greener grass that you perceive. And this is why sometimes times I am so tempted to say that immigration should be outlawed so everybody will stay in their kitchen and put in the fucking work. Part 2 on the xenophobia going on in South Africa. Let me try to explain it this way. Hopefully it will sink into somebody's head. I am Uche, okay? I've always been Uche, and for the most part, as long as I exist in this realm, I'll probably will be Uche until the day I depart. However, for some of you meeting me, you're just meeting me today, okay? So let's say you are gravitated towards me because of, you like my voice, you like my accent, you like how confident I am, how smart I am, how financially stable, educated, and so on and so forth I am. But I haven't always been like that. I haven't always sounded like this. I didn't always have this voice. I didn't always have this accent. I wasn't always this independent. I wasn't always what you see right now. There's a whole lot of history behind this, a lot of pain, a lot of tears, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of sweat, a lot of blood before I became what I am today for you to find attractive enough to want to gravitate towards me. And you also have to understand that this right now is the best that I can do, all things considered, meaning that there's a potential for me to achieve more. But this is the best I got right now. And the best that I got right now is actually quite mediocre, but it's still the best I got nonetheless. If you gravitate towards me just for the sole purpose of benefiting from my light, yet you do not have a deep understanding, reverence, acknowledgement, or respect for the history behind who I am, the sacrifices that I've had to make in order for me to be the person that I am today, we will have a fucking problem. Especially if you think you can come into my space and say whatever the fuck you want, do whatever the fuck you want, without understanding that the reason why I'm able to glow the way I glow today, for you to notice enough for you to want to benefit from, is because I have developed a set of principles that have governed me in order for me to maintain my sanity in a world that reeks of insanity. Principles that I acknowledge could use some work because they are mediocre, but they are my principles nonetheless. I developed them myself with no tools, no help from mother, no help from father, no help from any society. I developed them myself. So for you to think you can come into my space and criticize my principles while still benefiting from my light, remember, you are coming to me. I am not going to you. The best way to help me develop and strengthen my own principles is if I observe you embody your own principles in your own life. Then I might be inspired. Not you coming into my space and leeching off of me. Hell fucking no. And I think a lot of the issues with a lot of African immigrants, especially Nigerians in South Africa, is some of them think just because you go to your little 9-to-5 job and pay your little taxes, that's it. That's the bare minimum. That's equivalent to you hanging with me and being intentional to not trigger my stress or my pain. But there's still very much a lot of pain and stress inside of me. I need you to be actively involved to help me figure out ways to create better principles to navigate through this thing called life. If you're not helping me heal and grow, what the fuck are we doing? You're not my kind of person. So you paying your little taxes from your little 9-to-5 job and keeping the law is equivalent to you just complimenting me, but there's still a lot of work to be done. And for those of you who think that my systems are too harsh, fuck off. Don't come. Let's talk about this xenophobic mess going on in South Africa one more time. To the Nigerians who are crying tattooed tears talking about how South Africans are being xenophobic, they don't want us in their country and blah, blah, blah. And so what? They don't want you in their country. Don't go. I mean, you don't get house. What happened to your house? Somebody does not want you in their country. Why are you running to their country? Think about it like this. Imagine I have a house party that I'm throwing and I choose to not invite you specifically. These people are invited, but you specifically, I don't want you in my house. Why are you making any more noise? Because I do not want you in my house. Yes, you can call me xenophobic. Yeah, sure. You can call me housephobic. You can call me whatever the fuck you want. Sure. You're still not invited. I do not want you in my house. It's my house, my resources. I don't have to give you an explanation. Yes, perhaps the reason is because you're very rude, you're very inconsiderate, or maybe you are the sweetest person ever. I still don't want you in my house. It is my house. I have the right to say no. You that is complaining, getting your feelings because somebody, another man, is not inviting you to their home. You should be asking yourself why. And it's not even just South Africans. Ghanaians don't want your ass either. Other countries don't fuck with us. Nobody wants us. Hell, I'm Nigerian. Bitch, I don't want y'all niggas in my house. We are not liked all around the world, and there's a reason why. America is probably the most tolerant place towards Nigerians, and we still get there, and a lot of us disrespect them. And this is simply because our arrogance is too loud, and people are tired. How long are they going to keep tolerating our bullshit for, when they still got their own bullshit to deal with that we're not helping resolve? The only people who claim to like Nigerians are people who have a thing for Nigerian men. You just want Nigerian dick. That's not the same thing. If you want dick so bad, go to West Africa, go to Ghana, go to Benin, go to Senegal. They'll hazela you with tamu. And if you can't find shit, get you a couple of dildos from Amazon.com, bitch. If somebody does not invite me to their home, I don't give a shit because I have my own home. My home is Gucci. Matter of fact, at this point in my life, if somebody does not invite me to shit, I'm thanking God, because that way I know I don't have to come up with a useless excuse as to why I don't want to go, because I know it's not for anybody again. My home is so fucking comfortable. Thank God Almighty. But if your home is very uncomfortable and reeking of insecurities, that's when you're getting your feelings because somebody does not want you in their home. Maybe you should be looking in the mirror and asking yourself, why is my home not comfortable to begin with? Maybe you should be giving your energy into fixing your country. And I keep hearing some Nigerians talking about how Nigerians helped South Africans fight apartheid back in the day and blah blah. And So what? That was back in the day. Thank you. You're supposed to be your brother's keeper, but you're supposed to do it out of the goodness of your heart. As in, you're not supposed to expect anything back in return. That is what it means to be a good Christian. This isn't the Bible for all of the Nawakari Bible for it. But the problem is that a lot of y'all are very performative and very disingenuous with your goodness and misses. If you don't know how to give without expecting anything in return, do not waste your energy. So just because you helped me build my house that time, thank you so much. I appreciate it. But you're not entitled to shit. It is still my choice to choose to invite you or not. And right now, I do not want you in my house. Do not come. Fix your own home first.